Welcome back to the barn. Well, welcome back if you've been here before. I have a new addiction. No, not coffee, but old outside gear. I'm starting to nerd out on it. If you didn't see my kerosene heater that I ended up showing off on my last video, well, I've got another kind of cool one from my grandpa's archive, and that is an old, I think you call it Dietz Oil Lantern. We're gonna get this going and see if it leaks and see if I can get it functioning. So I'll show you a little bit of history on that, but yeah, I don't know. It's lately I've been jonesing out on like old camping gear. So not that my coffee is an addiction. I mean, it's not. I can quit whenever I want if I wanted to, if I really thought it was a problem, but it's not. I swear. All right, let's take a look at this lantern and see if we can't get it going. All right, so this lantern, the globe is obviously new. I just got that. However, what's interesting about these, so I think I'm saying it right. It's the Dietz Lantern Company. You can go out and find tons of these new, made in China. It's not rare, and this particular model is not rare. You can still buy this model today. However, this is the Little Wizard. It is, I think, 7 to 9 candle power. So, you know, obviously not a big one. This model was created, I think, in the early 1900s, like 1913 or something like that, was the first version of this. And then they made some changes all the way up to 1936, I think it was. They made a new liner for inside the can. And this is obviously post that. One, it looks like the canister inside's got like a dual wall thing. However, I know it's earlier than 1970 because I did a little research, and the Dietz company stopped making the lanterns in the United States in 1970, and I don't know particularly when this model stopped being made in the USA, but on the cap here it says made in the United States of America. It doesn't say USA, it says United States of America. The burner in there, I had that off to kind of clean it up and get a new wick in there. That says made in the USA. And then on the lantern itself, it says New York, USA. And I don't know if the newer ones have that, considering that they're not even in New York anymore. It's all Chinese-made company now. But it's a pretty cool history. There's a good website out there where you can buy a lot of the accessories, and they kind of show you the different models. The Little Wizard model, this one particularly, was usually sold to road contractors to use to light up the road barricades and stuff. So at night you could see where the road barricades and signs were. So that's what this was primarily used for. They did make a model that had like a post, like an adapter, so you could set it on a post for like a porch light or to have it up on a post. So pretty cool. I can't find any date information on this. So all I know is it says it's made in America, so it has to be pre-1970, and this model started around I think it was like 17 or something like that, 1913. But the inner canister thing I think happened around 1939. So this is somewhere between 39 and 1970, as best I can tell. And then obviously I bought the cheap new glass to go in it. However, I did find online some glass that was the original glass. It was much thicker, looks like it was made out of lead, and it actually had like embossing on it. So kind of cool for those, but I didn't even know if this is going to light up, let alone get the original glass. This one's been rode hard, put away wet. It looks like it's been dropped. It's dented here. There's a small dent on here, and thought I saw another dent. The spring doesn't really work all that great, but good enough. So let's see if we can get some kerosene in this. I got to come up with a better way to put kerosene in this than what I did on the stove. If you saw that, I just poured kerosene all over the side of the stove. I'll put a card up, and you can click on that link and go check that video out if you want. But let's see if I can make a mess here and get this lit up. I am going to use kerosene, because that's what I have here. I do have some of that clean fuel coming as well. I didn't order the paraffin fuel, the new paraffin oil, because that freezes up. So, and I want to be able to use this outside in the winter camping, just as kind of an ambiance thing. And if I were to put the paraffin oil, it would solidify and obviously not work. So, all right, let's get some kerosene in this. All right, a smarter man would do two things. One, he'd learn from his lessons of spilling kerosene all over. But I didn't buy a funnel. I do have a little cup. I'm going to try and use that to help pour it on and not make a mess. Second one is, a smarter man would probably just fill this with water and make sure it doesn't leak prior to putting kerosene in it and leaking it all over. But I'm not that smarter man. So we're going to start off. Everything looks really good in the can, so I'm confident that it's going to be fine. I don't think it's going to be an issue. Heck, I even poured it all over, trying to put it in this big hole. Oh, that smell of that kerosene, that even smells like the old timers. Oh man, I don't know why I'm nerding out on this stuff. Alright, I didn't put a lot in there, but we're going to let that wick kind of soak that up. I may need to put more in there because of how much the wick might soak up, but let's give that a few minutes and let that soak up and see if we can get it lit. Alright, well, it's been a few minutes, and well, probably 10 minutes or so, and it's not leaking. If I lift it up, there's some kerosene here on the thing, but that's for me dribbling a little bit. Much better than when I did the furnace or the stove. So actually it looks like it's in good shape, so we're gonna give it a shot here and see what happens. I'll turn the wick up just a little bit. And the spring on the top part isn't the best, so give it a little bit of assistance here. Oh yeah, she sounds nice and gnarly. There she goes. And, oh, see, she's burning real dirty. Let me turn it down here. There we go. All right, now that I've got that set, there's no soot coming out of the top or anything. That is freaking awesome. I don't know what it is about the old time gear that I'm loving lately, but it's really cool. So, all right, so now for the big question. All right, so should I do anything to this? Part of me feels like I can't just leave it. I gotta, maybe sand it down a little bit, bring out the words and stuff, or do I just leave it alone? Again, I don't know the history on it. My dad found it in my grandpa's garage, and it had been hanging there for as long as he remembers, but he doesn't ever remember it being used. So knowing my grandpa and considering this is dented and stuff, it probably fell off the back of a truck somewhere and he picked it up. But obviously can't ask him that these days. But yeah, I don't know, part of me says you just leave it alone and kind of every dent, rust, and everything is part of its story. So pretty cool. It's not burning very sooty. I mean, I'm using kerosene. I'm not using the cool new fuel stuff, which is probably better. It does smell like that burning kerosene a little bit, but I think that's just part of the character as well. Interestingly, if you didn't know, and I found this out while doing some research, these tubes down the side here are not just protection, they're actually ventilation. So as it burns and starts to get hot, the air will actually circulate, and that's what actually feeds the flame. It's not just the cold air coming in from the bottom. These actually recirculate the warm air around and help keep it burning. So didn't know that. Kind of interesting, but all right, well, I've rambled on. I think these old stuff is pretty cool. I've got some old cots. I've got an old I don't even know how old it is, but it's an ice fishing flasher. I always thought those were like brand new things. I got one of those. I'm gonna try and find an old canvas tent. It would be cool if I had some sort of family history attached to that. But and then I'd love to try and do a camp using all old gear. So if that's something you're interested in, please subscribe, thumbs up, do all the stuff everyone ever tells you to do, or not. I don't care. You do you. But I thought I'd share this. It's pretty cool. So I think it's gonna go with me on my next trip. Take care, everyone. Thanks for watching.